quick moment of silence for those who stayed on this screen for way longer than they needed to, just to be met with some numbers that appeared on a screen. Just a quick moment of silence, okay?
What you want? We hang with them ballers. We don't even ball. I just motherfucking started. Now I want it all.
Now, almost 24 hours have passed. Whenever this video goes out, it's probably a few hours, like towards, basically a day has passed since the event. Now, I was fortunate enough to actually be on the game when the event happened. I know some of you weren't, and Epic really do need to work on that. Although if you somehow have missed the event, you can probably find it all over Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, whatever. But if you want to support me and just watch my videos, then just check my recent video or the link in the description and watch it there. So basically, the event was pretty good. Let's just be honest. The event was pretty good, and I'm just gonna give you a little bit of analysis of what happened. But yeah, so basically the rocket set off, as everyone expected it to, and then essentially it just created a massive, huge rift in the sky. And then all of a sudden the visitor's ship just pops out of another rift, and that ship alone obviously created loads, like a couple of rifts. Now what you got to remember is there were 7 visitors, or 7 variations of the same visitor. So essentially there were 7 different ships instead of just the one that we remember from season 4, where it kind of just went on, and then it obviously created that massive rift above Loot Lake. So basically those rifts were just doing everything. They were just going around the map creating rifts. It was quite hard to actually get what they were doing. But one thing I do remember is that they all went around the factories area and just in front of the meteor, and what they did is they created this massive rift so that when the meteor actually did come down, it would go into the rift, and that rift moved it right above the 0 point, which obviously, as we now know, went down through the 0 point and obviously got sucked in, which created this massive, what appeared to be an explosion, but essentially just created this massive black hole that we all know sucked us all in, which then ultimately led us to this famous screen that we now see. Obviously you guys can see on my video, and basically for the first half an hour nothing happened, and then a massive over the next couple of hours numbers were displayed, and essentially I'm going to give you the numbers in order and actually reveal what they mean, which obviously we all now know. Well, some of you don't, hence why I'm making this video, but a lot of people know. And so yeah, but first of all, I'm just going to give you the list of numbers. Now, what you got to remember, the numbers were spaced out, so in 20 minutes you'd get a span of a couple of numbers, then nothing would happen for 2 hours, and then obviously another set of numbers, then nothing would happen for another 2 hours. Then we get there were 4 sets of numbers in the space of around about 6 to 8 hours. But yeah, the first set of numbers were 11, 146, 15 and 62. Now no one knew what that meant. Now in the 2 hours we had before the next set of numbers actually appeared, which we didn't know was happening, there was a lot of theories. Now there was one that was actually quite good. Their theory was that it meant there are 11 seasons, 146 chests, 15 POIs and 62 days per season, which I actually thought was quite logical. But then obviously 2 hours passed and we were granted with the numbers 87, 14, 106, 2 and then 150. Now obviously at that point I had lost my mind. Obviously some time passed, then we had the numbers 69, 146, 15 and 36, and then our final set of numbers were 2, 176, 8, 160, and 65. Now I am now just going to reveal what those numbers mean and the initial purpose of the numbers. Now people have worked out that the numbers that popped up on the screen relate to a certain word that obviously the number resembles on the visitor's tape. Now as you all know, the visitor released a tape which Epic obviously, like, you had to find them on the map, and then when you got all of them it came out with the big tape, and obviously you would have heard it by now. You can always go back and rewatch it, but basically the numbers that would come up on the screen in their own little groups would resemble essentially like a sentence. So we've got like a sentence per like 2 hours. Now obviously the numbers 11, 146, 15 and 62 represent, you know, the 11th number, 146th number, etc. Now when you put that theory to test, the first sentence you get was, "I was not alone." Now obviously a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's just a fluke, you know, it's not meant to happen." But then obviously when you do it with the other numbers, 87, 14, 106, 2 and 150, you get the sentence, "Others were outside the loop." So obviously, you know, there's two perfectly, you know, like the sentences that make sense. These are messages that we're meant to be taken into account. So when you do it with every single number, so far we are greeted with, "I was not alone, others were outside the loop, this was not calculated, the nothing is now inevitable." Now on the fourth line there's a bit of debate that it should be the 0 point is now inevitable, but I was watching a YouTuber called Smith Plays' live stream yesterday. True soldier. He streamed for like 9 hours just trying to debunk everything, and he had a real debate about it. I actually think it is the nothing is now inevitable. I know the 0 point is now inevitable would make more sense, but if we're following the actual code like we have for the past 3 sentences, it's definitely the word nothing. Obviously you've got to take into account in the tape there was conveniently 1, maybe even 2 words, we don't actually know yet, that were, you know, blurred out, and whether Epic are hiding that word for a specific reason, or it's, you know, there to troll us or make it just look like it's, you know, an actual tape, we don't know, but you know, we obviously know what Epic games are like. So yeah. Anyways, obviously a lot of people thinking, you know, like this all happened probably up until like 4, maybe like 2 in the morning for me in the UK, and obviously the event at that time obviously had finished at around about 7:15 in the evening, so for a good like 6 or 7 hours, and we had nothing, and now the time is currently 1:45 in the afternoon the following day. So why are Epic now just stopped? Well, I can reveal to you that the event has only just happened in China. So as in the rocket launch maybe like an hour ago has just happened. So what does that mean? Obviously, so we don't spoil it for China, we've essentially just got to wait for them to catch up. So what does that mean? Now obviously the time it took for all these numbers that we've already got to appear took around 6 to 7, possibly even 8 hours. So essentially we've got to wait that extra time before we can progress with what we know. But I think, you know, we've already waited so long, it is kind of annoying, but to an extent it means that everyone in the world will actually know what's going on at the same time, because China must be pretty annoyed because they would have seen all over social media what we know and what they don't know. So with that being said, I think it's kind of okay to an extent. Like a lot of people have got school, work, college, so they're not going to be back until a couple of hours, which the time that we are meant to be getting, like in the UK it's like 7:21 PM, which obviously people like Raz, Victor, who are from Sweden, that'll be like 8:21, Giraffe 6:21 PM, essentially at the same time our event had ended. So pretty much an exact 24 hours after the event ended is when we're meant to progress. Obviously we don't know if we're going to have to wait another 8 hours for another new set of numbers, but as long as Epic are giving us something, I'm kind of happy. But yeah, anyways, this is going to wrap up today's video. Thanks so much for watching. If you are new to the channel, make sure to slap a like on it. If you've watched all this way through, comment, pizza, and I might subscribe to you. Anyways, if you are going to be purchasing the Season 11 Battle Pass, be sure to be using code MvPElliot-HD, all caps, in the item shop to just support the channel. If you're not going to use mine, use someone else's. There are some great creators out there. For example, MVP Tsunami. Go and use their codes and support them, and really give them a motive to play this game and to produce more awesome content for you guys. Anyways, it's been your boy MvPElliot. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day. I'm sure Season 11 will be right around the corner before we know it, so make sure to just stay patient. Epic know what they're doing, and yeah, let's just hopefully have a sick start to Season 11, and I hope to see you guys in future videos or live streams, and yeah, peace out.